Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host, Alex, here today to discuss the Week 15 game picks. And I'm here from a new PC. I spent yesterday building a brand new PC that I'm going to be using for live streaming, recording videos, gaming, things like that. So bear with me if there's any hiccups with the editing or recording or anything like that. I'm trying to get things up and running once again. With that being said, last week, week 14, went 9-4 on the picks. So that puts me at another winning record, or another winning week, rather. Still have not had a losing week of picks since week 5. So I'm on a really nice run right now. Feeling great. Total season record 127-81, so I'm about 50 games up, so I've got a really nice lead there. Feeling great for the rest of the season. And with that being said, we will go ahead and we'll get into it. Week 15, it's sad that we're already in week 15. Even more sad that the Bears will not be making the playoffs, so I won't get any extra Bears games this year. But with that, let's get into it. AFC games as always. Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans. I like the Miami Dolphins here on the road. I think Miami is trying to sneak into the playoffs. They are fighting, and I think that they would be in the playoff picture easily right now if Tua was healthy the entire year. Houston's been faltering this season. CJ Stroud has had a bit of a sophomore slump, which my dad actually predicted prior to this season. Sometimes you see it. A lot of these quarterbacks that start off really hot, I don't want to say CJ Stroud's been figured out, but defenses kind of catch on to their tendencies and things like that. And then it's whether or not these guys can adapt. So we're seeing it with Jaden Daniels this year as well. Had a really hot start, and now he's kind of back down to earth. So we'll see what that goes. But I think Miami is going to get the win on the road. Cincinnati Titans, Brian Callahan revenge match. Yes, actually, I think the Titans are going to win. Cincy is one of those teams that it's just really struggling all season, not as good as they should be, and just losing games in a lot of different ways. Won this past week against Dallas in a really funky ending with the fake punt, but I just think that Tennessee has been a little bit friskier as of late, and I just think they'll be able to find a way and get it done at home. New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow, this is a terrible match. Tie. I'm gonna pick them in a tie, and that's where I'm at with that one. Kansas City and Cleveland. I like Cleveland. Believe it or not, I like Cleveland. Kansas City is struggling a little bit this year to protect Patrick Mahomes. Cleveland, on the other hand, is getting a ton of pressure on quarterbacks this season with Myles Garrett and company. And I think this is going to be one of those good Jameis Winston games, and he's going to air it out. And I think that the Chiefs have just played so many close games this year. This is one that on paper they should win very easily. I could see the Chiefs kind of overlooking Cleveland. I don't think Andy Reid or Mahomes would necessarily do that, but the rest of the team perhaps. I think Cleveland's going to get this one on the road or on the home field here. Indy and Denver, the Peyton Manning Bowl. I like Denver here. I think actually no, I like Indy here. I think Indy's making a late season push for the playoffs. I mean the AFC South is still open, right? If the picks go this way and Houston loses and Indy wins, there's one game in between them for the AFC South. So I think Indy's going to get a big win here. Denver, it's a big game for them too, with Miami right on their tails. It's a big game for both teams. I think Indy's just going to find a way to get it done. AFC NFC matchups next. Baltimore versus the New York Giants. Give me Baltimore here. That one's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have a ton to say about that one. Tampa Bay on the road against the Chargers. I like Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay really wants to close out this division race here. If they can keep winning, they control their own destiny now with how Atlanta's kind of choked that away. And so this is a big game for both these teams. The Chargers are out of the running for the AFC West. That's already been clinched. But I think that huge game for Tampa Bay. They control their own destiny. They're going to go and they're going to get it done. New England, Arizona. I like New England. Arizona, I have a lot of upsets this week. Arizona has been faltering. They've been struggling lately. They were in first place a few weeks ago in the NFC West, and now they've kind of lost their footing. And if they lose this one, they'll fall all the way to fourth in the NFC West. That division's really close, but I think New England, Drake May, he's been playing pretty solid, and they're gonna play spoiler here and really kind of destroy Arizona's chances of getting in. Buffalo, Detroit, this is a huge game for both these teams. We're really going to see how good Detroit is. I think Detroit's going to do it. I think that against a lot of teams in the league, Detroit's really, really good. Oddly enough, I think against their division opponents, which makes sense, I suppose. Um, they struggle, and I think they'll struggle against more of the NFC teams. I think Detroit will probably struggle against Philly, and potentially a team like Seattle or the Rams if they get in. I know that game went to overtime, but that was really early in the season against the Rams. But I think against the AFC teams, they'll do pretty well. So I like Detroit there at home. Another huge game, Pittsburgh, Philly, Battle of Pennsylvania. I like Pittsburgh here. I saw a graphic yesterday that Philly under Nick Sirianni in December is like 7-7. And then every other month, or like December and January, and then every other month they have like a super high win percentage. So they struggle late in the season. I think Pittsburgh has been playing really well, especially with Russell Wilson, and Pittsburgh is still technically alive for the first seed. If things were to play out this way, they'd be a game behind Kansas City, and I just think that they want to keep Baltimore off their tails, and they'll go ahead and get this win. Atlanta, Vegas. Give me Atlanta here. I don't even know who's starting for QB in Vegas because Aiden O'Connell's done for the year. But yeah, I mean, that's that. Uh, Falcons really need that game. Rams, 49ers, a huge game. This is tonight, actually, Thursday night. A massive game for both these teams. And I think the Rams are going to get it done. I just think with all the injuries that San Francisco has, the Rams are just better. The coaching is pretty even, right? So then it just really comes down to the players on the field. And I think the Rams roster is just better at this current moment in time, accounting for injuries and everything. So I think the Rams will be able to get it done. Commander Saints is a big game for Washington. I think they'll be able to pull it off. I think this game is going to be really, really close, actually. But I think Washington will be able to get it done. They need that win to stay alive in the NFC playoffs. Dallas Panthers. I saw Carolina's favored for this game. I like Carolina. Bryce Young's been playing fantastic since he came back from being benched. Almost took down Kansas City and almost took down Philly last week. If it wasn't a dropped touchdown, if it wasn't for a drop touchdown, Carolina maybe wins that game against Philly. So Carolina kind of reminds me a little bit of the 2022 Bears in the sense that, not that Justin Fields was benched, but second-year quarterback kind of finding his way. The roster's really not good. Has a first-year coach, and in the second half of the season, they're playing competitive games. The quarterback's playing well. They're losing, but they're close. They're competing against a lot of top teams, and showing a lot of promise moving forward. Green Bay, Seattle. I like. I like. Who do I like in this game? This is a tough one. Green Bay on the road. I'm picking Green Bay here. This one's gonna be really close. This one could go either way. Would not surprise me at all if Seattle wins this, but I just think for the narrative, right? For the NFC North to have three teams with double-digit wins, not the Bears, of course. This would be really, really cool to see. And I think that Green Bay is better, depending on what version of Jordan Love we get. But I think Green Bay will win that one. And then finally, Bears Vikings Monday Night Football. I don't know. I'm gonna pick Minnesota. I think the Bears could win that game. Right, went to overtime a couple weeks ago, but we'll see what type of energy they play with, who they want to show up as. Right, are they going to show up as the Bears team against Minnesota 3 weeks ago, or are they going to show up as the Bears team against San Francisco last week? Who knows? But Minnesota's been playing really well. Sam Darnold has revived his career and is looking really solid, and they look scary for sure. So that is it for today's game picks. I appreciate you guys listening as always. I am so close to 100 subscribers. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on the post notifications so you don't miss an upload. I'm talking football all season, and it's almost playoff time, so I'm going to be really excited to do some playoff stuff. But appreciate you guys. Bear down. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.